Hey dreamers, this is Jade. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here to do a flip through of my January pages in my Hobonichi 2025 Avec. So let's get to it. As I said in my reassessment video, I'm having a hard time with this already. So I don't know how much longer this is going to last, but I do have January pages completed. So let's go ahead and go through them. This is the cover. I do have a video with me decorating the cover, and let's get to the daily pages, okay, because I don't really do anything with the monthlies. All right, and this basically is just how I started it off and just celebrating the incoming year of 2025. I did, like I have done in the past, I wrote myself a little small note that I will go back and look at for once the year's over. I'll go back and see what I wrote, because I do be forgetting. I'll write the note and think I'm going to remember it all year. I already have no idea what I wrote in there. So yeah. Anyway, that is day one. Day two, just talking about a fresh start in 2025. And then on the 3rd, it looks like I did go out and do a little shopping here. Yeah, I went to Ollie's, Roses, and the hair shop because I have been looking for a bonnet that I liked. The bonnets that I have been using so far, is always something wrong with them. Either they give me headaches, they don't tie right, they come off. It's always something. And I still haven't found one that I really like. I saw this girl wearing one time that had like Velcro, and I have not been able to find that at all. So anyway, it's been a time with the bonnets, but that's what I was looking for at the hair place there. Roses, I went and got me some more ginger chews. Love those things. And then of course Ollie's, I was probably in there looking for books, like I need some more books. But anyway, moving on. So on the 4th, I'm just kind of recording here what I had been watching these days. And on the 4th, it had been When the Phone Rings. It's a K-drama on Netflix, and I heard people griping about the end of this. I was unbothered by the end. So whatever. I was like, okay, whatever. I enjoyed it. It was a good K-drama to me. And then I had also been watching Missing You with My Mom, which is one of those Harlan Coben shows, which is basically a show based on his novels. I have watched plenty of the Harlan Coben based shows. I've loved pretty much every one. This is actually the only one that was a little disappointing to me. But other than that, and I have since started reading his books as well. So yeah, really enjoy Harlan Coben. Love those shows. This is, like I said, the only one that was kind of just a little disappointing, but it was still pretty good. So that was the 5th. The 6th, I think is when I started my physical therapy, outpatient physical therapy. Yeah, and so just getting the first thing done. And I do believe this is what my mom took me the first time, and I think my sister took me the next time because I was still kind of moving funny and yada yada yada. So yeah, and then afterwards went to Bojangles, got me a sausage biscuit, some fries for breakfast. It was good, it was great. And here on the 7th, it's just basically me recording when I finally filmed and got my scripting video done, which I will link in the cards if anybody is interested in what scripting is and how to do it. So yeah, just getting that done. And then there was nothing really of note on the 8th or 9th. So I just actually used this whole thing to create a collage of my favorite straw hat, which is Zoro. I can't. It's tough to say the whole name at once. So I'm just going to say Zoro. And actually, I just wanted to use this. I had found this meme, and I thought it was so cute and cool because it says, God created men and sent Skypea Zoro as an apology. And I was like, absolutely. And so I just kind of built the collage around this sticker. So I got this sticker, printed it out, and put it down there, and then it was just not enough. Okay, so I just started adding other Zoro themed stuff here, and I really love the way that this turned out. So I'll probably be doing more collages like this of the straw hats. I'll probably be doing them also in my my One Piece journal that I have been in since the beginning of the year. So yeah, anyway, I really love this. And then I went in, just added like his name, and then other things that other names he's been called throughout the story. Excuse me. So yeah, as I said, I love Zoro, so there will probably be more collages of him in the future, and the other Straw Hats, because I love all of them as well. And then here on the 10th, it looks like I was just doing some journaling. Yeah, and then we had a snow day. It snowed for the first time in 2025, and I was not here for it. It snowed at night though, so I didn't have to go anywhere, so fine. As I've said before, snow is fun. I'm gonna come in just a little bit. Snow is fun when you're a kid. As an adult, snow is just inconvenient, okay? It's just inconvenient. I do know that there are people out there that still love their snow, so I hope that you get your snow when it's the right season for it. However, I wanted to bypass me, skip me, okay? Because I don't want to do it. And then here I was probably doing some One Piece journaling or something, and just wanted to make note of that because I have all of the One Piece images here. And I really am enjoying myself in my One Piece journal. And this, I was trying to, I have a walking pad here at the house, and I hadn't used it because of the whole hip thing. I hadn't used it in a while. So I was just trying to do a small, slow walk just to get some exercise on that hip there. And when I tell you it was not working, I was like, what is going on? I haven't used this in a while, but there's no reason it should not work when I'm ready to use it. But the batteries in the remote were dead, so I had to replace the batteries. So that's what was going on there. And I believe here and here, I have these One Piece images here because I was totally missing the live, the live action, and so I had to start rewatching it. And so that's basically what I am recording here. I absolutely love the live action and the anime, and it is just chef's kiss. I'm telling you, One Piece will change your life, okay? And then same thing, sometimes I just like to spread out the whole thing of, because, you know, life here, sometimes it's just very mundane. I don't know what to write about. And, you know, don't always want to write about the little dumb, piddly stuff that you do throughout the day. Anyway, so I wrote about Hello Kitty, Exo Kitty here. Really enjoyed the second season. These two, I felt it from the first season. I was like, I think these two are going to be in game, and I love it. And then we got Peter coming back for a cameo in Exo Kitty, and he of course is the love interest in all of the to all the Boys I've Loved Before movies, which reminds me I need to watch the third one for this month. So I will have watched the first one in January, I watched the second one in February, and the third one will be this month, so I do need to get to that. So yeah, anyway, loved Exo Kitty. If you have not watched it, it is so cute, so fun, full of drama. I would start from the beginning. So if you have not watched any of it, start with To All the Boys I've Loved Before, and then it's P.S. I Love You, and then Always and Forever, and then start Exo Kitty. Full of drama, messy, love it. It's so good. And then the 16th, again, I just spread it out. So this is just me recording my birthday. My birthday is it's actually on the 17th, but I use both pages to record it basically. So yeah, and just here are just a couple of pictures of my cake and stuff. And like, I've told my mom to stop buying me cake, or to stop making me cake, and to not worry about buying anything for me or whatever, because she would make a cake, my favorite cake, which is strawberry shortcake, for my birthday, but then I'm the only one eating this big cake by myself, and then by the time, I can't eat all of it that fast, and then it's like molding, and it's just a waste. So I was like, please stop making the cake or whatever. So she bought this little one from Wegmans, and I just was like, okay, thank you, but you don't even have to buy that either. But you know, moms don't listen, okay? She thinks she grown. So just me, and she left me a message this morning. So, the morning of my birthday. So, yeah. Anyway, and I watched my favorite movie, Tradition. So, on my birthday, I always watch my favorite movie. So, yeah. Anyway, that's basically what was going on there. And then this day, I went to McKays to turn in some books. And I bought like one book. I thought I was going to have a nice little haul. My intentions were, because there were some book series that I wanted to continue or start, but I didn't have like certain books in the series, and I thought that I would go to McKays and find those books in the series. I found one. And it was way more than one that I was looking for. So yeah, I only got that, and then I just put the thing here, and then I did turn in some books and got some cash for that or whatever. So here's just my receipt for that, and here is the thing. I actually ended up spending this to get my book, and I got it for free, and then what was left for my trade was 52 cents. So I just put it in here because I'm not gonna go and use 52 cents. I can just pay for whatever next time I go to McKays. So anyway, that's basically it. If you don't have McKays in your area, maybe you'll have something like that. But if you have McKays in your area, definitely check it out. They sell a lot of used stuff, books, vinyl, comic books, anime, manga, like all the little toys and puzzles and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, anyway, check it out. And then here on the 20th, looks like I went shopping again, and definitely I had to go to Michael's. Okay, I think this is when I had ordered something online and had to go and pick it up. So yeah, and then the next day, as you can see, my reaction, more snow. It snowed again. Thankfully, I don't think it stuck around for a lot this time, because I just don't do the snow. I just do not like it. Okay. And then again, I used the whole spread to record myself watching the To All the Boys I've Loved Before, because when I watched XO Kitty, it just gave me like a certain feeling, that cutesy, innocent, first love type of vibe or whatever, and I was trying to get it back. So I started reading the young adult romance books that I have in my stash that I hadn't read yet, like Better Than the Movies, and what's the other one? Charming as a Verb. And neither one of those was giving me those type of feels. So I was like, let me just go back to the original. And that's what I did. And so I watched To All the Boys I've Loved Before. I absolutely adore this movie. I love Lara Jean and Peter. They are so chef's kiss. Just great. Love it. So I had to record that. And then on the 24th, I had to go and do my labs or whatever. So I just put my little number here and whatnot. And I swear there was some other stuff going on here. Yeah, I stopped by a store. I went to Sam's. It actually ended up getting... Okay, I got a free but not free book. Okay, and I'm going to explain that. So when I got to Sam's, there was a couple things I had to do. I had to return something. And then I was going, because it was the wrong size. And so I went to the back to see if I could find the same thing, just in the size that I needed. And then of course, if I'm in there, I have to look at the books. And I found this one book that I liked, that I think it was the beginning of a series that I had been wanting to read. So I hadn't gotten any of the other ones yet, because I wanted to read the first ones first. Anyway, I picked that book up, went to go check out. Everything checked out fine with the thing I was replacing checked out fine. But every time I tried to ring up the book, it was like, you're not authorized, or you're too young for this book, or something. It was some crazy message I kept getting. And so I'm asking people. I tried to ring it up on the Sam's app. It was not ringing up. And finally, they told me, they was like, oh, this is not in the system yet. We can't sell this to you, blah, blah, blah. So the guy was like, you know what, that's our bad. Here, you just take the book, you can have it. And I was like, what? Great, awesome, thank you. But then come to find out, when I got home, or later on that evening, I got a message saying they had taken whatever the value of the book was. You know how you build up Sam's books or whatever? They had taken that from that. And I was like, that is not cool, because you told me it was free. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, on the next day, on the 25th, I did go to the library and get some more books, and I actually just returned them yesterday. So yeah, I'm just making a note of that. I got my receipt here for that, and then a picture of the library and the books that I got that day. So that was the 25th. And then here I was doing some One Piece journaling. So I have been wanting to use this sticker for like ever, and I was like, this is perfect. I can just spread it across the 2 pages, and then I just made these stickers as well. And we call it that. Call it what it is. And then the 28th, this is me being very meta. Basically journaling about journaling. And I do believe I am not the only one. So I am okay with that. And I just wanted to record that this was the day that I was getting my XO Kitty spread done. Either done or edited. I can't remember. And it's probably here in the details. But my handwriting is so small, I am not going to sit here and read the whole thing with you all to figure it out. And then here I'm just recording like the mundane things, getting some chores done. I needed to, I have, because of my energy sometimes, when I clean my bathroom, I have to do it in steps. So I'll like, some days I'll go clean the tub, and then I'll take a break and clean the sink and toilet. And then other times it'll be like a day, like I'll clean the tub and then the next day I'll clean the sink and toilet, or vice versa, or whatever. This day I wanted to get the tub clean. So yeah, this is basically me just, as I said, recording the mundane stuff here. And that was the 29th. The 30th, I noticed when I went to bed that night that my phone was bulging, like the screen was bulging. And the last time I did that, they told me I had a bloated battery, and it is dangerous to have that, yada, yada, yada. So I made an appointment online to go to Best Buy to have my battery fixed. So I went to Best Buy, got there, and the guy took my phone. He's like, okay, well, we won't know what the cost is going to be until we check in your phone or whatever. He was like, hold up, let me look first, or whatever. And he was like, we won't know until we get into the phone. But when he came back with the phone, he was like, yeah, I'm not sure, blah, blah, blah. But I know that it hit me later that I know that they went into the phone and looked to see what was wrong. And then they're trying to act like, oh, well, we don't know and we can't tell you. Because when I'm like, what is this? There was like this circular residue on my screen. And I'm like, what is that? This is not what I didn't bring my phone in here like that. And it finally hit me. This is where they took the thing and suctioned off the screen to see what was going on inside my phone. So they knew exactly what was going on with my phone. And it didn't hit me until later, when I had already went to Verizon to look for a new phone. And I swear I was going to get the, y'all, I was about to switch to Android. I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, no Android or whatever. That whole Android versus iPhone bullshit. Not me, okay? I'm like, whatever. I just can I talk? I have just had iPhones for forever. They're easy to use. I know what I'm doing. I don't have to reinvent the wheel with it. And then everything else I have is Mac as well. So my computer is Mac and my iPhone is Mac. And I can just airdrop files between myself, so it's just easy. But I don't care about having to switch or whatever. Anyway, I was going to switch to, because I saw that new Motorola Razr, and man, when I tell you, I was like, I want that. And went to Verizon. Of course, they don't have it in stock at all, so you can't even look at it or anything like that. But then I did look up some reviews, and I think it's the first generation of it or whatever, and the people were saying that it's a good phone, but the camera quality is not that great. And I use my camera for too much stuff to have a phone that doesn't have good camera quality. So like making the videos or taking photos and stuff like that. So I just was like, okay. And by that time I was just done. I wanted this over with. So I decided to just get the iPhone 16. Of course, Verizon didn't have the amount of storage that I wanted. So I ended up calling the Apple store that's local in my area and to see if they had it in stock, and they did. So I ended up buying it from them, and my mom picked it up from them on her way home from work. So yeah, anyway, it was a whole rigmarole type of deal, but I got a new iPhone. I got the purple one, although it looks more like a bluish color, like a purple blue to me. Anyway, I do like it. And then of course I went through the whole thing of, since it was new, there was no TikTok. My TikTok did not transfer. I could not get back into my TikTok or anything. So I found a way to reload TikTok on my phone, and it involved VPNs and all kinds of foolishness. Okay, and I think I'm done with this story. Okay, so it was just a whole deal. It was a day, okay, dealing with this phone. And then on the 31st, I'm just basically recording like all my favorites from the day. So this was interesting, trying to squish all of that into one page when I usually do a complete two-page spread for my favorites. So my January faves, well, as you can see, I have a little Exo Kitty here in the TV box there. But my entire watch list was When the Phone Rings, Missing You, Arcane. I tried, people were raving about Arcane. Like, I was half paying attention to that. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I watched the first season, but I did not continue after that because it just didn't grab me. One Piece live action, King Arthur Legend of the Sword, Exo Kitty, Jerry Springer. That documentary was wild. To All the Boys I've Loved Before, It's Okay to Not Be Okay. I love that. It was so good. Night Agent, One Piece anime, the East Blue arc, and then One Piece anime, the Alabasta arc. I got through all of that in January, and then I ended up reading 9 books. So, Cold Hearted Rake by Lisa Kleypas, Gallant by V.E. Schwab, So Let Them Burn by, I can't remember her first name, I think Camila maybe, but her last name is Cole. The Absolute True Diary of a Part-Time Indian. That was an old one. I wanted to get off my shelf, and I finally read it. The Dixon Rule. Better Than the Movies. Charming as a Verb. Can't Escape Love. And Truly Madly Deeply. I listened to that on audiobook. And here is basically my January playlist, what I was listening to. What I was listening to on repeat, for the most part, was 30 for 30 by SZA featuring Kendrick Lamar. And then I have some other stuff on here. Hello by Akila, As I Am by Her, Mirrors by Justin Timberlake, Lovers, Anna of the North. That was from the To All the Boys I Loved Before soundtrack. Glow 8, Ariel J. I don't even know what that is. Let's Fall Together, Robbie Ryder, La La La, Naughty Boy, Sam Smith, I Like Me Better, Love, and I Want You Around by Snow Allegra. So that pretty much wraps up January. I have started on February's entries, but it's very, 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 very few. As I said, I don't know what the future of this will be. I think I will also probably try to get March journaling done as it's happening. It is currently March 19th and I'm not done that yet, so we'll see how it goes. We will see. But yeah, anyway, that is what's going on in this journal and my January flip through. If you have any comments or questions about anything, please leave those below. I trust that you all have been safe and well. If you enjoyed this content, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing. And I'll catch you all in the next video. Bye!